Hello everyone, welcome to our next snippet. We're now on snippet 26. This was our snippet 25 and I actually did a follow-on card from this on YouTube if you want to catch that one. So we're on snippet 26 and what I want to do is use the same background. So we're going to use the same background we created there. So if you don't have a background and you didn't create a second generation print, then create another one of these backgrounds as we did in snippet 25. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my new stamp set, which is Flower Trio. I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to use this stamp here on the left. I'm going to use that stamp, which I've already got on my acrylic block. And I'm going to use my black Nocturne, the VersaFine Clair, and even though I've only got 15 minutes, I still make sure that that's got a good layer of ink. I can then hover over my page and decide exactly where I want to place that stamped image. So I'm just allowing that ink just to sit on there. Just give that a little time just to soak in, especially as we've got other layers of ink on that page. So just make sure you give it a few seconds just to absorb in there. And then we can leave it our acrylic block and that gives us a beautiful print. What I'm just going to do is just blot that image, especially with us using the Nocturne ink, the VersaFine Clair with a good open time. I'm just going to blot that. Not much has come off there, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to use a piece of kitchen roll just to lean on there, and I'm using my Ecoline pens Carmine, which is 318, and reddish brown, which is 422. And I'm just going to add a little bit of colour. She says I need my glasses. Just because as it's getting later in the day, this poor old soul just sometimes can't see depending in different lights. So I'm just adding a little bit of that Carmine just to our flower. Just add that, just going round, just adding a little bit of that Carmine. Have I missed anywhere? Of course I have. So just add a little bit of that colour. There we go. Just adding little touches of that colour. I'm then just going to blend that colour out just a little bit on each. And you'll also find, because we've got those orange colours in the background, that will still react because we used an oxide which reacts with water. So that's absolutely fine. And what I'm going to do is take a little bit of that Carmine colour and just blend a little bit more of the colour just out. Just blend that out. So I'm just picking up a little bit of that colour just to blend it out a little bit further. Now obviously when I'm just doing this video I can't really spend a lot of time colouring. I tend to do that afterwards and make it look brighter with lots of layers of colour. But you just need to just take your time and just add some of that colour, which we'll continue later. And also what you want to do is add a little bit of that colour just here to our circle as well. And let's just add, just need to blend some of that colour out. Just blend that out and take some of the actual colour to blend it out a little bit further, and we'll add some of the darker colour in a short while. I'm then going to just add a touch of stamping, just with the bold Gazette stamp set 907, and I'm going to use my grey as I did with the previous one. I'm just going to add a little bit of the grey just in the background, just a little touch of that stamping in the background like we did with the previous one. And the grey does exactly that. It's sort of, it's not too overpowering to the design. So I've added 3 lots of stamping there with the grey, just to add a little bit of detail in the background. And then I'm just going to add my reddish brown, just to give a little bit of the darker colour. And I would do that with the flower as well. Just add some of that darker colour. I'm just dotting that round sort of the edges, just to give that darker colour. And then what I would do is just blend the 2 colours together with the lightest colour, just to bring a little bit more blend. And what I would ask you to do is, obviously when you're colouring, take a little bit of time just so that you add, you know, enough of the detail to the design, so that there's enough depth and definition on there. Right, I'm then going to use my little Bright Dawn stamp set, and I'm going to use the roosters. So just add the roosters. I did have a little A7 acrylic block, but I don't know where that went. So I've got a little A7 acrylic block. Let's just, is it that one I want? Oh, it is. I picked the right one straight away. Let's just make sure that's on there. There we go. Just add our little rooster here. Again, just giving that time to soak in there. Just wiping my hands, and then there it is. I've just picked it up. I'm dangerous. So I'm just going to add a little touch of the grey. Just clean my brush because I don't want to blend the red. And just add a little bit of shading. Then I'm going to add a touch of shading just around the circle, like so, and just blend this just a little bit. Take off the excess, just so you can blend that out. And you can go in so that it's a little bit darker. Just so that you've got a little bit more darkness. Just around that circle, and just shaded down the stem. I will add touches of white, but I'm just going to decide on a sentiment. There is Beauty in Simplicity, which is off the Bright Dawn stamp set. I'll just add that to our and I'm probably going to create a card to follow on as well in more detail using the same stamp. And you really don't have to press hard with these. think what I'm going to do is just cut this up a little bit. Just so the sentiment looks a little bit different. There we go. Just need to cut that down. And we'll add this and then add some shading around the sentiment. And I always like to play around a little bit. There we go. Just to see if I'm happy with the placement. But I would definitely spend a little more time colouring because I want the brightness. Just to add pops of colour. There is beauty in simplicity. And then I would definitely add some shading around my words. You don't need much water because you don't want everything to react. There we go. And then I would add my splatters of white. And then the rest of the time, what I would do, I would spend some time adding more colour to your flower, a few more little white dots as well to the centre area, and your rooster. I would definitely spend more time just adding more colour and more definition to my circle, just so that it's got a little bit more depth of colour. Just go in and add a little bit more colour. And take your time with that colouring. Just blend out those lines. And then when that's all dry, all that you need to do is you need to add a little white highlight here. So add a white highlight here. And when you've finished colouring your flower, which I will spend a little bit more time just adding a little bit more colour and just enjoying the process of colouring the flower. But then what you need to do is just add some touches of white to your flower. And then your snippet 26 is finished. Nice and simple, as it says, there is beauty in simplicity. But what I would do is I'd take a little bit of time adding a little bit of shading, and just see if you prefer to have a little bit of shading around the flower. It's entirely up to you. But for me, I think the most important bit is going into this flower and just adding a lot more brightness to your design. Just going in and adding a little bit more colour. I think it's worth it just to spend a little bit more time just adding a little bit more depth of colour to that flower. And when you add some touches of white, I can't add it at the moment because it's just not dry enough, but you're going to add a touch of white here and some touches of white to your petal, and then that is your snippet 26. But please don't forget those little final touches as well, because that'll really finish it off. And if you can, just let that flower dry and then come back and add another layer of colour on that flower. I will take a photograph of my flower and the snippet once it's finished, just so you can see that depth of colour. Love to all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.